Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and just a quick just a video today really about persimmons and some of the issues or double issues I have with growing them in our cooler UK climate and in containers. It's a double whammy really. Now the sort of problems I've been running into here, it's twofold really. One, the size of the fruits tends to be much smaller because obviously they're growing in pots, which means they haven't got the roots don't have the abilities to get perhaps the nutrients and water they need at the right times. And the second one is climate related, and that's our cooler summers, which tends, because they start developing very late, they don't flower here till well, in my case middle of June. The fruits don't have the length of season they need to develop to the size they want to be, and this also causes a problem with ripening. Now I don't know if I can show you easily without trying to squeeze over the back. The fruits that I'm pointing the camera at now, these are basically the slightly smaller ones. At the front are Fuyu and the one at the back is Gyro or Giro. Now what I've noticed here is the non-astringent persimmons struggle to ripen and change colour. Now that may well be because they're non-astringent, it may well be because they've been pollinated by the male flower ones here, but I think you can probably see that we're now approaching the middle of December, and you would probably expect these Fuyus and Gyros to be a nice bright orange colour by now, but in fact they're still green with just a hint of orange to them. Now if you compare that to the astringent ones I've got, this one is Chocolatino, there are still green persimmons on the tree, but they're a lot more orange, and in the case of my, I think it's Mount Govala, the fruits are actually a lot more orange and are probably close to ripening. But we have had quite a number of frosts here in my area, and normally frosts are considered what causes the persimmons to ripen. But what I've noticed here is, rather than ripening uniformly, and I don't know if I can show you on these two here, they're actually going a brown colour on the top of the persimmon rather than a nice bright orange. And if I can manage to walk through the swamp here, that's my garden. This one here is a costata. This one's not so bad. Rather than this brown, this is more sugars on the skin. This is probably okay to pick, but it's not soft at all. It's not ready to eat. It's actually very hard. But if we look at some of the others, like this one here, now this variety I think is a, let's have a look. This is a Russian red. No, those fruits aren't on the Russian red. They're on the they're on a muscat. Just the branches hanging over. You can see probably that the top half of the fruit is a brown colour and the bottom is orange. Now that is probably caused by them freezing, but they're not an attractive appearance. Now in fact the only ones that have produced what I call a decent sized fruit this year, if I can squeeze through, this is a Rojo Brillant, and that actually is my, well, it's probably that's my largest persimmon, but that's a decent sized fruit and it's quite a nice light orange colour. Now that won't be right, but if I was to bring it inside, obviously if I bring that inside and leave that with other fruits on the counter, I'm hoping that will ripen. I'm leaving them on as long as I possibly can because I'm hoping they're going to obviously I'm very much hoping that they're going to have some sweetness on them this year. These are also Rojo Brillant, but again you can see the brown discoloration on the top of the fruit. Now next to it we've got Giro or Gyro, and the fruits are really just green with the slightest hint of orange. Now I did pick a damaged one a week or so ago hoping it was going to be sweet. Now, although it's a non-astringent variety, what I've noticed is in our cooler climate they still have a light astringency to them. They're meant to be completely non-astringent at all levels of ripeness, but I believe the tannins are withdrawn from the fruit in warmer climates with the longer growing season, and that is an issue with them growing here. I don't think the tannins get leached out of the fruit as well. These are also mostly seeded because I've got a chocolatino that produces male flowers. Now, I always thought that if they were pollinated and had seeds in, that was meant to remove the astringency as well, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Now, these look as if they could stay on the plant for another month at least, but of course there's two things to be wary of here, and that's continuous cold and wet may damage the fruits, and also the obviously the birds will be attracted to them because they do stick out, being a bright orange. I have seen several of the fruits have been pecked by birds. I don't seem to be particularly fond of them, but they do definitely have a go. Now these, it's interesting because the calyxes are lifted up on these, and if this was a chocolate persimmon, the tropical chocolate persimmon, normally when these calyxes raise up it means the fruit's ripe, but that doesn't seem to be the case necessarily with the astringent and non-astringent varieties in our climate. Again, look at that fruit here, you can probably just about see that it's actually discoloured. It's not as easy to see on the camera as it is in real life. So my main issues here are really size of the fruit, because I'm growing in pots, and the level of ripeness that I'm getting with them with I think our shorter growing climate. I'm probably going to cut these off this weekend and put them in a fruit bag with an apple and just see how they ripen, because I'd like to try them, and they don't look particularly appealing with this brown section, because that does seem to be caused by freeze damage, which is meant to ripen the fruits off, but obviously it doesn't necessarily work here. Anyway, I thought I'd do a slightly longer video on them because it's something colourful to see. They are very if I can squeeze back out without falling over. God, I'm so waterlogged it's crazy. They are very colourful. It's a bit like having pre-Christmas decorations in the garden with these wonderful oranges on the tree, but I think I might end up ripening them. I don't think I've got any persimmons that are ideal for hoshigaki this year, which is the drying of persimmons. I would like to try it sometime in the future, but I think it only works on certain varieties, and I'm not sure if I've got any of those varieties with fruit on this year, but I'm hoping eventually I'll have some of those more acorn shaped ones which normally lend themselves more to the hoshigaki drying process. I could buy a dehydrator and just dry out the slices, because I believe that also reduces the astringency. But in the next couple of weeks I'll probably be harvesting some persimmons, trying to ripen them off, and then I can do some taste testings on the different varieties and see if any of them provide sweetness here. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. That was my persimmon video, just talking about my issues I have of in our climate and with pot growing them. It's a double problem, and it does affect the size of the fruits and the speed at which they ripen. And so we're looking here, these ones are the chocolatinos, small but hopefully going to be edible. Thanks for watching the video. Please give me a thumbs up, do share it with anyone you think might be interested in growing them in this climate. Please subscribe to my channel, and remember to click on the bell if you'd like updates on new videos when they come out. I'll see you on the next video. Brett out for now.